Hello, everybody. Welcome to Agita News. Happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Oh, what a Friday it's been. July 12th, 2019. Agita News. Agita is a Mediterranean term for heartburn. And I've been sitting here undoing an Afghan that I've been making for 6 months for a gift. Yeah. I was watching the news and I don't know, I started going off on a row that was clearly the wrong row, never catching it, and every row trying to figure out what did I do, what didn't I do, why isn't it? And it just, even though it was almost the size of a king-size bed, it was getting there. It was almost half the size of a king-size bed, and I had a lot of hours into making it. That's how much I have left now. I'm starting over and frogging out. And so I've been sitting here unwinding, literally, and thinking about the news. Today has been a day of the news just coming at us so quick. So much news. Okay, so Alex Acosta has resigned. Now, I admit, when I first saw that he did this, and I was first getting the news, and I'm sure it was coming over the wires and everything, people were saying that it was Donald Trump that was not happy with the way the victim notification was handled, and he had some questions about that, and it seemed to have been coming from Donald Trump, and after all, it is Friday. So, but no, there was Donald Trump standing next to his man saying, no, this was not my doing. Alex Acosta came to him and said, I want to resign. Now, he just made a huge speech on July 10th. Where did he sound like a man that wanted to resign? Did he sound like a man that was going to resign? Ever? That was going to admit anything wrong? No, he sounded like a smug man who was hanging in because, why? Because he served for the president's pleasure. So I was thinking, okay, the president finally let Alex Acosta know, you're not pleasing me, okay? And by you mentioning that you serve at my pleasure and that I'm okay with this, you're making it sound like I'm okay with this, and you shouldn't do that. He's trying to distance himself. That's what he's doing. That's what's going on there. So, I was really just blown away by the whole thing. Like, seriously? That, you expect us to believe that you just decided, okay, I'm going to give up now. Maybe I'm just going to go do another job now because I'm going to give up, right? Wrong. Look, the next thing that's going to happen is GHISLAINE, I think her name is Maxwell. I keep wanting to call her Alexander or Maxwell, I don't know what the heck. The lady that helped Jeffrey, I think she's a British lady. Her father's an author, I do know that. She has had the longest relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, and she is a woman that kind of turned out these young girls and kept the business going, and has all the names and all the travel that went on the Lolita Express, and all the customers and who, what, where. I think she's going to be arrested. Our charges are going to finally come against her because I think Jeffrey Epstein is going to have to talk, and GHISLAINE is going to be more and more. And as the victim survivor stories come out, her name keeps getting messaged, her name keeps coming up, so she's going to talk, and names are going to come out, and meetings that many people that Jeffrey Epstein had, lawyers that worked for him to get him that sweetheart deal, are going to come out that Acosta did know these people and worked with them to get him that sweetheart deal. And so she's gonna name names so that she's not in trouble, so that she's not doesn't get a horrible sentence. Who could blame her, right? Although I blame her more than I'm terrible. I'm harder on women than I am on men. Women that do that kind of business, where they get young girls involved and turn people out like that, I have less respect for them than the men that take advantage of the girls. Okay, so yeah, kind of a little double standard there, but I'm guilty of it. I guess because when you think of women, you think of a matronly, kind of motherly, caring quality for all children. So yeah, I'm a little harder on women than men. So having said that, I think that GHISLAINE will get convicted or charged soon, and that it has more to do with why Acosta actually resigned. I think that Donald Trump did say resign, but we'll stay friends. I think that Donald Trump talked too much. He said way too many words. Words get people in trouble. He spoke too much about knowing Jeffrey Epstein so well, but not really that, but not, not a fan of his. Somebody is dusting off their photo albums right now and picking out some pictures of Donald Trump on Jeffrey Epstein's island on the Lolita Express, although probably thought Trump era was better, but he had to. Curiosity, he had to have gone. Are you kidding me? This is a man that loves land and real estate and toys and building and property. He had to. Curiosity would have been biting at him. Okay. So I don't believe any of that. I don't believe the reasons they gave. I was starting to think, oh, yay, Donald Trump did something good, but oh, nay, he didn't. It was disingenuous, very disingenuous. All right. Paul Ryan is back on the scene, like I said he would be, and I really just believe that he's testing the waters. Nobody resignates, or whatever, retires at 46 years old, as young as he was, after putting so much into his career to work in politics and be the brainchild of economics in the young Republican Party, to just walk away. Now, what Republicans are really good at, if you think back to President Obama, when he first went in, it's very well noted that all the Republicans got together night before the inauguration. Weeks before the inauguration, they started planning, but the night before, they got together and it was all in, nay or yay. And they decided, all in, we're going to block whatever this man tries to do. Not the first time they've done that. They also, if you look at Republican candidacies, most of them used to announce their candidacy really late. Late in the game. But they didn't just like out of whim, I'm going to run. No, they were planning for a long time. They were going to run, and so they did. So I think they're they're much more strategic than Democrats, and I think they have long memories, and they're able to put up and shut up with somebody they don't like in office, but they're always thinking of how to be rid of them and who's going to replace them. So I think Paul Ryan got together with some, well, come out here, Dustin. You don't have to yell over me. got together. That's my cat. Got together. Excuse my cat. Got together with some of the elder statesmen in the Republican Party, and really, they made a plan, and they are, and yeah, they stood by Trump as long as they could, and a rock star is going to come from the Republican Party. And I think Nikki Haley, like I said, is going to come back. Okay, the storm Barry is going to be worse than they originally thought. That people have been lulled into believing that those levees are working and that they have new levees, so they can never have a catastrophe like Katrina again, and they are sitting ducks. The Mississippi River has been rising since the Nebraska storms, and that river is way over what it should be now. They haven't really had a chance to test and pump really that amount of water. They're saying it's going to be a big rain event, but unfortunately, I think a lot of people are thinking they're going to ride out the storm because of the category number. I don't know how they make these storms into categories, but I do know that some people don't consider it a storm unless it has a name, and others unless it's over a category 1, 2, 3, or 4, and so it goes. I personally think that when you're sitting in the middle of water surrounding you on an island or rivers that are all going together, you take it serious, go to high land, get the heck out, and shelter in place or start packing up. That's just my thought anyways. So I think it's going to be worse. The detainment, I think the deportation movement that's going on is probably going to start a little sooner than Sunday. There's going to be some surprise. I know the president said Sunday, but do I believe him? No. I think it will be sooner. I think we're being groomed for a military state. I said before, New World Order, military state. This has to happen. I have always believed that the reason Donald Trump wanted to build a wall so badly was to lock us in. See, everybody's saying, build a wall to keep the bad people out, the horrible, bad people out. But that also locks us in. That's why he's rubbing elbows with dictators and heads of regimes who have killed their own family members to rise to power. Okay. Now I've got a big gnarly mess here, but I'm going to try to roll it up real carefully. I think it's really sad that we're at this place because a lot of the people that they're going after, they're not the really hardened criminals. I know that Donald Trump is saying we're going to go after the real, the really hard criminals that they just walked in. They've been given plenty of notice. They never took a pathway to citizenship. They studied. They learned. They took all the benefits. Well, you know what? I don't know about you, but I'm on Medicaid, food stamps, and Medicaid. And I have to do everything, and I was born in the USA, and I worked, and I have to pretty much bring my firstborn blood from, to get a driver's license, you have to bring all that. It's always verified. So if somebody is here in a mixed household, say they uh, and I can say this from a social work standpoint too, because I'm a social worker. Say a disabled social worker. Say they come to this country, and they usually have family or friends that they can stay with. And I can also say that where I live, my mailman, we have a different route all the time. There's not one day that I don't go down to my mailbox, and I've been here over 10 years now, where I don't have somebody else's mail in my mailbox, where my mail isn't like 5 buildings away. And the name isn't even close to my name. Yesterday I got mail for Serena Sanchez. Nowhere close to my name. My name is Maria Martella. So I mean, but that's not unusual. Mail gets zooming around. So who's to say that happens 3 times a week to me? Packages end up like 5 doors down, and the UPS guy knows me really well. But if he's off one day, it's where it is. I was blessed enough to have a neighbor 5 buildings away, drove up, rang my doorbell and said, I'm looking all over and somebody told me this is where you live. And he had my package. It was at Christmas. I was waiting for a package for a family member. So you just don't know what happens if people get, and I get a lot of really legal documents that come from like motor vehicle and court and all kinds of things for neighbors and the mail. All right, so why don't we start fixing, start at the bottom before you start cutting the head off everywhere. Why don't we start at the bottom, like we said, you were gonna take care of the 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 systemic rot and the substructure and just, everything, the foundation, right? Got planes that are going sideways in the sky, falling out of the sky. Subways that are ashamed to be on, disgusting. Public transit, that's nasty. Highways and bridges and potholes everywhere and houses boarded up and businesses boarded up. Okay, so the economy's good, people are getting jobs. But have you taken care of, have you done any of those promises? No. So, I don't believe that he's just going to go after people that are big criminals that already know they were told to leave. Yeah. They're probably moving between households because they have nowhere to live right now. They're working as hard as they can to get their own place because rents are sky high. Rents are ridiculously high. And the only way you can live these days is for lots of people to live together. And we're back to that again. I'm very blessed that I can live alone with my cat, but I'm telling you, most of the families around me have lots of people living with them. And it really is kind of a my casa, your casa situation where everybody's working hard and they're just working on the American dream to get their own house, have their own cars, do their own thing, get their education. And they are following a pathway to citizenship and they do have children in school that were born here. And, life happens. I don't believe there's just a bunch of undocumented people everywhere that everyone isn't aware of. Somebody is aware of them. Why don't you arrest the people that are hiring them when they're undocumented and know it? Why don't you take a look at the people that are continuing to hire illegal people and pay them under the table? Or how about they pay them by giving them an apartment and a car to drive once in a while? I don't know. Didn't you, Donald Trump, have illegal people working for you? Were you not aware of it? Right? I mean, you know, these things happen. Uh, I just don't understand where you're going to put these people. I still don't understand. You're going to have to explain that to me. So, I don't believe that Acosta left on his own. I believe that Paul Ryan is back in the news because he wanted to be, and it's planned. And I don't believe he ever liked Trump in there. And there's a lot of Republicans that never liked Trump in there. And just like they made an oath to each other to block Obama and everything Obama tried to do before he got in office, they made a little oath together to, okay, let's just let this guy pretend to be president for the next 4 years and school him and help him and just keep an eye on him and, yeah, let him get his confidence up, and guess what? Come 2020, he's out. Okay, is it going to work? I don't think so. I think he's in there. Unfortunately, I think he's in there until the people get him out. Until the people rise up and get him out. It's not going to be a party that's going to get Donald Trump out of there. It's going to be a rising of the people. All the people. Okay? And yeah, is there need to be a healing of the nation? Sure. I believe that. Okay, so the Congress finally got to talk about how the detainment centers really were. And I was glad, although it was hard to watch, I was glad they got to talk about what those facilities really looked like because they were horrible. And there are still people there. There are still people that are expected to be there. Children were never meant to be there. Nobody was ever meant to be there more than 72 hours. Children were never meant to be there alone. They were built for men. But yes, the detainment centers are, what are they going to be? Packed with people that are being deported now? And then people still coming in, being processed? I don't believe it's going to be Sunday night. I believe it's going to be sooner. I believe this is all prep for a military state. We're being groomed to be used to these kind of executive orders coming through. The whole citizenship question and census, he didn't back down. Everybody's saying, oh, well, he backed down from it because he couldn't do it. No, President Trump didn't back down. He obviously still doesn't understand how government works because the wheels are not always spinning quickly in government offices. Do they have a good census? Not really. Do they have a good record of people? Not really. When you go to the DMV now, you need to have your firstborn child with you and a little drop of blood from them to even get a driver's license. It's crazy. The amount of paperwork you need. And like I said, if you want anything on this system, even short term, you have to prove you're an American citizen. And once you've done that and you've established your residence, it's pretty clear. There are a lot of ways and agencies and social security numbers to do that. Sure, there are. But he's saying he's going to use every way he can to obtain to figure out who's in the country. Can you say Big Brother is on the scene? Yeah, Donald Trump, Big Brother. So, I believe it's going to be a military state. I believe we're really close to New World Order. I believe a lot of the hurricanes are part of depopulation. I believe California fires were part of depopulation. I believe a lot of the flooding that's going on is part of depopulation. you cannot give people a false sense of hope by making it a lower number in a category of a hurricane when they're surrounded by rivers that can flood and basically in a little bowl of that can overflow. So yeah, I'm not feeling good about New Orleans again. Really not. And I'm hoping that people will really take heed and do whatever they can. Again, I think that GHISLAINE is going to make a plea bargain, and you're going to find out that Alex Acosta there was a lot that went on with that sweetheart deal that showed favor towards him, towards Jeffrey Epstein, and also that President Trump is trying to distance himself from that. That's that. I still feel like Hillary is looming out there. We're going to hear from Hillary Clinton pretty soon. What else? Oh, I know they were showing Angela Merkel and the shivering and shaking that she's done 3 times now. No, I think people have a right to privacy for whatever they're going through. I just wish her well. And she's not seeking to run again, so I just wish her well. I don't think we need to know everybody's disease. And there's news, and then there's crazy news, you know. So that's about it. That's it today. It's a little bit cooler today, which I'm glad for. And sun is starting to shine a little bit. It's 8 something at night. We're getting a little sunshine right before it goes down. I have now taken apart my Afghan and talked about the news way too long. Oh yeah, on the Mueller report. I'm sorry, the Mueller report. I really don't believe we're going to see him testify and say much more than he said in his 8 minutes, which was supposed to be a 10-minute conference. I really think he wants people to read the darn report, and it's not that hard to read the report. And what this is proving is that people have still not read the report, because it's very clear to me, after reading the report in one day, that there was obstruction of justice. He couldn't do anything about it. And he left it up to the Congress. Over and over again, Congress is dropping the ball. Congress. You gotta stop going into the past and keep looking at the now and keep reminding, like I said before, keep reminding people of the news that it didn't make sense. Literally, when we say it didn't make sense, it didn't smell right. The scent was off. It didn't make sense. We're not talking about even logical sense. We're talking about it didn't pass the sniff test. So much going on. Oh, and I've decided today that Kamala Harris is, I'm sorry, she's a one note. She's a one note, and it is sour, and it is bullyish, and it is ready to punch you out, and I'm going to be gnarly and sarcastic and in your face, and I'm not going to be nice. I'm not going to play nice. And we don't need more of that. I won't vote for that. I loved her when she first came out swinging, but then that can't be your whole demeanor. And honestly, I don't think I can listen to a sarcastic, whiny voice for 4 years. Yeah, I mean, I remember when I really considered, can I listen to Bill Clinton. Because at first I thought, man, he is the most boring speech person. I'm falling asleep here. Can I listen to him for 4 years? Maybe 8? I don't know. I don't know. It gets a little rambly. And that's big coming from me who's very rambly. But I mean, he really could put me to sleep. I was just like, when I was listening to Bill Clinton sometimes. Who else? Who else? Oh wow, I got a lot of gnarly stuff going on here. I actually thought some of the Bush speeches were kept me more alert, and Ronald Reagan even. So I'm a person that listens to speeches. I really love Obama's speech. Kind of, if you heard one speech with Obama, you know what to expect. Yeah, I get the sound of people. So if Kamala Harris is going to be naggy kind of, or whiny, or snarky all the time, I can't do it. Can't do it. Can't listen to it. It's too snarly for me. So yeah, I feel sad about that because I don't know. I don't know. Not really sad. Just kind of like, what a waste of people's money. Because of course, I don't know. Do people want to see people fight? Is that why people are sending money in? Oh, she fought with Joe Biden. Good for her. I just don't get this kind of politics. Not there. I don't get this kind of hate politics. Not my thing. But politics is part of life, so here we go. I think Mike Pence is done. Can't even explain why I think that, but I think that. So we'll see. We shall see. I think I said everything for today that I need to say. That I wanted to say. The conditions inside of the detainment centers are going to continue to get worse and worse. Those are the same detainment centers that are going to be used to deport people. So we are seeing now. I wrote that today. Show us. Show us. Show us. Really. Show the world how bad it was. Because the whole world is watching. The whole world is watching. I miss the kind of world where people shared their zucchini and their tomato, and their sugar, and could go to a neighbor and say, I need a little sugar for coffee, or here, I got a can of beans for your can of tomatoes. I miss, we've lost something here. I don't know. I don't think it's our soul, but we've lost trust in each other. And I find that very sad. Okay, so I don't think it's too late for some of these people to jump in and run for president. And I think some of these people will wear themselves out on the campaign trail, and there will be a new and exciting somebody who will come in. Do you think Elizabeth Warren will be in the top 3? I am watching the news and seeing the detainment centers again, and I just think it's horrible, disgusting that people are crammed together and can't even breathe. It's just horrifying. It's horrifying to see people like That's just disgusting. Under our government care, under the United States of America, on our soil. We need heart again. We need heart. We really do. All right. That's my Friday news, guys. I'm going to take apart this big ball here. I can't believe I took apart a big old Afghan while I was sitting here, but I did. I've been working on it since last June. Maybe it's not going to get done. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to start over. Maybe there's going to be a new pattern I'm going to see that I'm going to like better. I don't know. But it was a gift, and it just came apart. So that's how that happens. All right, everybody, I'm going to carry on and clean my kitchen and take my garbage out and get some fresh air. Have a nice night. Thanks for joining me for Agita News, where I just take a little breather and talk about the news and get it all off my chest because people are really, really, really tired of hearing about it on Facebook. Please be careful in New Orleans. If you can still hear everyone, please be careful. Please just shelter in place and then get the help you need. And I hope that you got the things that you need. And don't drive through the high waters. Don't drive through the high waters. Just do whatever they say. And our prayers are with you. Okay. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care. Thanks for watching.